Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to bring up a very controversial topic, especially now when LLMs are used literally in every company and by almost every developer. And the development of LLMs is moving super fast, although in my opinion the progress is not exponential. I started my path in development 8 years ago as a QA engineer. And I'll be honest, I got bored of it very quickly, and in that company my developer colleague offered to teach me how to code. I was really thrilled by this idea, and I watched a lot of videos about current trends, what's worth learning and what's not, you know what I mean. And before starting my learning under my colleague's guidance, I was sure he would suggest some very specific role for me, like backend or frontend, with a strong tilt in a very concrete direction. I thought like that because my opinion was formed by many YouTube videos where developers said directly that you must be a specific specialist and have deep knowledge in one area. And you won't believe how surprised I was when I came to work and my colleague showed me a plan for moving from QA engineer to software developer. Just a simple list: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python and Postgres. Honestly, I was shocked because I knew for sure this smells like full stack, and that's not the trend, it's not serious, and this way I won't achieve anything. And he told me straight, you don't need to know all of this perfectly. I just want you to understand how it all interacts so you get a general picture. Back then, I didn't tell him my emotions right away. I just quietly started building pages with HTML and CSS. About a month later, it was time to learn JavaScript. And after my pages already did some primitive interactive actions, we moved on to Python and PostgreSQL. And honestly, even though I didn't show it, I felt a bit of disgust for the fact that I was doing a little bit of everything, doing what other YouTube gurus call bad taste. And it was eating me from the inside. At one point, when I could already write some simple functions and classes in Python, and I would build a few endpoints with Flask, I went to my colleague mentor and told him directly, you know, I feel like what I'm doing is wrong, because I won't become a good developer if I only know a small part of everything. And he took me out to a balcony, he lit a cigarette and very dramatically and said, so listen, understanding the basics across all layers of the web stack doesn't put a cross on you as a potential specialist in a particular field. As soon as you understand how things work together, you can become whoever you want, a backend developer, a frontend developer, even a database engineer. And I sincerely suggest you think about development as problem solving and think about yourself as a problem solver, and don't be afraid to work on tasks that aren't from your main spectrum. I'm a backend developer myself, and that's what I like the most, but when there is a problem on the front end or with the web server, I have an understanding of what might be wrong. I can Google more precisely because yes, I don't know everything from every area. And I think in the future this will help you a lot as a specialist. So keep learning, and then you'll feel by yourself what is closer to you: backend, frontend, databases, you name it. Honestly, his monologue impressed me so much that I still remember it like it was a scene from some movie, where an old and experienced detective gives advice to a newbie in their first week on the job. That was 8 years ago. And today I work, not the first year already, as a full-stack developer, and I'm absolutely not ashamed of that. Yes, I like backend more, but I also work on front-end tasks, I write database migrations for ETL, I think about architecture on projects, and I write a mobile app. I can and do DevOps. And I can say you honestly, I don't know if I would be doing all this stuff with the same interest and excitement if it weren't for that balcony conversation 8 years ago. And I'm absolutely not ashamed to say that I don't know something, that I'm not a narrowly focused specialist. Also, this isn't news, but the serious crisis in the global IT market, which started roughly at the end of 2022, and the extremely wide use of LLMs for coding today led to companies simply cutting budgets and hiring more people who can complete the task, solve the problem. And the boundaries of such problems often go beyond just front-end or just back-end. That is exactly why today the demand for full-stack engineers has grown quite fast, and personally I don't yet see any reason for this trend to change. So, if you're in a similar situation to where I was 8 years ago, please don't crush yourself for learning a bit of everything. Think of yourself as a problem solver, because today having the skill to debug your app from pressing the save button all the way to the input being stored in the database, that's insanely cool. And the tons of honestly trash code that LLMs have been generating for the last 3 years only increases the need for people who can solve problems of different types. Thank you friends for watching this video. If it was useful, don't hesitate to subscribe and hit like button. And don't forget, I have an open waitlist for my iOS budgeting app SpendBoard, which I'm constantly working on. The link is in the description below. And I would be really interested to hear your opinion on the full stack topic in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.